Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Kaine.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and congratulations to the nominees. Mr. Ward, I want to talk to you a little bit about Peace Corps personnel issues, following up on some that Senator Booker raised. The Peace Corps is currently the subject of a federal lawsuit that accuses it of discriminating against applicants with disabilities in violation of the Rehabilitation Act. And in particular, this is a lawsuit that is also consistent with some constituent outreach to our office. People apply to get into the Peace Corps, they get an offer made to them, they undergo a medical clearance process, and then they find that their offers are rescinded, some because they have sought mental health counseling in the past, some because they take anti-anxiety medication or anti-depression medication. The gist of the lawsuit is that folks are being discriminated against on the grounds of seeking mental health support, which we should not be discouraging, we should be encouraging. We know that we have a lot of stigma issues surrounding mental health, and people don't seek treatment sometime when they need it. But the fact that they might need mental health treatment is no different than I might need, cholesterol medication or something like that, and people shouldn't be punished or believe that they're going to be punished in employment because they're seeking assistance on mental health issues. I don't want you to comment on the lawsuit, but I do want you to tell me that should you be confirmed, that you approach this responsibility with an understanding that there's nothing wrong with seeking mental health treatment, and that shouldn't be a bar to serving in the Peace Corps or in any other public service or private sector job for that matter.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate the question. I think you're absolutely right. It is important that people seek help when they need that. I would tell you that as an Army veteran, I find it incredibly important. I talk to a number of my former colleagues who are veterans and encourage them to seek help when they need it. We need to destigmatize seeking help. And as far as I see, needing help for mental health purposes is no different than breaking an arm or needing to get your cholesterol down. Yeah. So it's important that we get that help when we need it. And it's important that there is a system at play that takes into account volunteer safety and security, while at the same time encouraging that people get help. And if confirmed, I'll certainly get under the hood on that and work with your office to make sure that we're striking the right balance.
Please do. I like the broken arm analogy. If somebody walks in to a hearing with the cast, I'll usually say, oh, what happened and can I sign your cast? And it's a very easy conversation. And conversations about mental health should be equally as easy. We all have to work to make sure that's the case in whatever capacity. I worked in Honduras as a missionary many years ago, and Peace Corps was really active in Honduras. Peace Corps pulled out of Honduras in 2012 for legitimate concerns over safety at the time, extensive violence in the country, and the Peace Corps also pulled out of some other countries in the Northern Triangle, including El Salvador. The Peace Corps announced, I think, earlier this year that they're going to come back to El Salvador, which I view as a positive. I don't know if you know anything about status with Honduras. In my discussions with Honduran businesses and governmental leaders, they've expressed interest in the Peace Corps starting up again in Honduras. Do you know anything about the status of that right now?
Thank you, Senator. I'm not privy to the inner workings, but I do know that Peace Corps takes very seriously its responsibility to safety and security of the volunteers, and it's really an ongoing assessment, as I understand it, and if confirmed, would be committed to working with your office to ensure that we get you the latest information and thinking on that.
That would be great. I mean, and I know that the Peace Corps coming back, it begins with the request of the government, and I have not talked to President Castro to know whether there's been an official request for the Peace Corps to come back. I've talked to other government officials and private sector leaders in Honduras that hope that might come back. The Honduran violence rates are not that different, and frankly, I think they're a little bit less than those in Salvador. And with the Peace Corps back in El Salvador, I hope there might be a way to come back into Honduras, because I think it's been a really important relationship. Last question I want to ask is to Mr. Toner, and it's about domestic violence. Gender-based violence in Liberia is, commonly at the top of the charts in terms of polling about what people want to see done, what problem that people want to see action on. In 2019, Liberia passed the Domestic Violence Act. That's laudable, but implementation of the act still needs a lot to be desired. Should you be confirmed, how could you work with Liberia to make sure that we strengthen implementation and take additional steps and set an example to try to demonstrate the importance of reducing gender-based violence?
Thank you for the question, Senator.
If confirmed, obviously human rights would be among my priorities. And as you noted, Senator, gender-based violence, including female genital mutilation, are among the concerns that are cited in the annual State Department Human Rights Report. I think a two-pronged approach, if I may, sir. I think I need to work with the government, the leadership, to make sure that they understand this is a priority. Equally, we need to work with civil society and engage. And Senator, I'm always an advocate for shining a light on these issues. As much as our voice can get out there, it offers solace and it offers a symbol to others who are looking for that. Again, I'm fully cognizant of the great power that America influence has on Liberia. So as much as we can be a model and be a voice and an advocate for change, I plan to do that, sir.
Thanks for that answer. I yield back.
Thank you, Sen. No time is left to yield back, but thank you.